So if you can just check that, we're going to record this.
Okay. Language.
Okay. You should be able to select a language to hear the presentation. When you log in. All
Does
right.
everyone know how to choose their language to translate?
When you log in, if you need interpretation, you can go to the three dots, click on caption, and it will translate into your English into your home language. Okay. Susie, you can see the waiting room as well, right? So I'm gonna share my screen.
I can see the waiting room, but
Okay. I can still do it, so it's okay.
I think when you, I'm not sure if you change to. I'm not a co-host or anything anymore, so.
Okay, Vero, can you let people in? There's 4 people in the waiting room.
Yes, done.
Thank you. Okay. Some more people coming in.
Hola. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
You get it?
You should be able to select a language if you press on the 3 dots. I'm gonna ask everybody to mute themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Vero,
Yeah.
could you mute everyone
I'm trying to, yes.
except for me?
Go ahead then.
Um,
Ahead then, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and pass. Yeah.
That was the reason why they got those dogs.
Yeah.
That was-
So anywhere to point the blame.
Yeah, so she's.
Who said that they gotta go? You said that?
Yeah, she's like.
Mio,
I
she's
know,
living, she's living in
Can
their
you mute?
house.
Okay,
can you
I need everybody to mute
excuse me,
their
Anita.
machines so that we can start the session. Thank you. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining the preschool lottery and information session. Just a few things before we get started. I wanted to sort of go over the timeline with you. After we go over the timeline, we will then run the lottery, and then we will answer some additional questions and talk to you a little bit more about the preschool program. So our agenda is welcome. We are so happy to see such a large number of families here on the call with us today. So today is May 10th, and we are going to randomly assign numbers to students' LASITs. Placement letters or Office of Placement letters should go out to you via your email between now, or not today, but the next several days, and the 15th. So please be checking your email. If you do not receive a letter by the 15th, you can contact me, and later on in the presentation, I will put my email and phone number in the chat for everybody. On June 2nd, we will send out assignment letters. So once you get that placement letter, you are asked to respond to us with a choice. And then you will receive your official placement letter around June 2nd. So again, we thank you for being here with us, and appreciate the time that you're spending with us tonight. So who is eligible? So children that are 4 years old before September 1st are eligible to register in the preschool lottery. It was complete. If you had a complete registration before March 24th, 2023, you have been entered into the lottery. And I'm going to end my show, and I'm going to pass the screen over to Vero Roberts. She is part of the data team at Lowell Public School, and she's been kind enough to do the random lottery assignment for us tonight. So Vero, it's all yours.
Okay, can you all see my screen? I suppose you can, and put something in the chat if you can't. Let me just close all this. So some of the fields are hidden because all the fields after column C hold personal information such as your student's name and address. So obviously we don't want to show this on the screen. When you register your child, you are given, or your child is given, what we call a LACID number, which is a local unique identifier. So this is what you can see on the screen, but obviously you don't know the student who's attached to that number. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give each line a random number, and we're going to do this twice before we run the lottery. We want to make absolutely sure that the data is in complete random order before we assign numbers. You know, the data could be in street order or in first name order or in last name order or in date of birth order. We don't want that. We want the data to be completely random. So to do that, we're using an Excel or a Google Sheet formula, which is called RANDBetween. And that particular formula here will give every single line a number between 1 and 30,000, just to be absolutely clear that we are random. One thing I forgot to mention before I do that, you will see if I scroll down, is that we have 2 greens, 2 yellows, and 2 orange. These are twins. So obviously we want to do our utmost to put twins in the same school. So after we run the lottery and we assign a random number, we will give the second child the same number as the first child who got the highest number. All right, so to do that, we just use that formula, and then I copy that formula down. I highlight, I copy, and I paste special to get rid of the formula. So now each student has a random number. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort that data in that new random number order. So to do that, I will say sort by random number. As you can see, all the data is now sorted in this random number. I'm going to do this again because I really want it to be random. Sorry, I've lost my formula. Laurie, can you come out of that cell, please? Thank you very much. All right, so I need to get back to the formula, which is here. So I'm going to grab that formula, copy it, and then go back here and place the formula again and paste it again. Copy, paste special, paste values only. I now have the random number, and I'm going to sort the data a second time by that number. All right, so now I'm going to delete all these numbers. And now, as you can see, the data is in complete random number. I have no idea who these, who these students are. So I'm going to do it one last time. And I keep using the formula. Hang on one second. Go back to the process, get the formula. Copy this down. Copy, paste special, paste values only. And then now we are going to sort the data one last time in this number. So now this is the final number. This is the final order of the numbers. We give lottery numbers from 10,001 onwards. So this is what I'm going to do. So the first one will be 10,001. And now I'm going to go down to, sorry, 10,002. and we're going to copy this down. And I'm going to go gently because I want to not miss the twins. There we are, we have our first twin. So the first twin has 10,108. So I'm going to copy this because I want to give the second orange one the same number. Okay, I hope you're following what I'm doing. We want the twins to have the same number because we want to give them as much chance as possible to be placed in the same school, in the same slot. So now I'm going to keep going. So the next one's 9, 10, 11, and so on and so forth. And I need to make sure that I'm careful with the colors. So that's our second one. So that's going to be 10,151 for a green. So there you are. So that twin will have the same number as his brother or sister. Sorry, there's someone to be admitted. So we
I'll do
wait
it.
here.
Nope. You got
And
it.
then our third one is the yellow. So the yellow is 10,161. So I'm copying this to give the brother and sister the same number. 10,161. Okay, so there we are. And now I copy down, but I have to be careful. So I'm not overriding this one because that's the orange one. So the next one will be 10,167. And this one is 10,168. And then I copy this down. So this one is 10,286, which means that this one is 10,287, and this one 10,288. I leave the green one alone, 10,289, and this one is 10,290. And now I can go all the way down because we've done all the siblings. And this is it. This is the lottery number.
Okay. So everybody, that is the random sort. And now we're going to go back to the PowerPoint and answer a few more questions for you and then open up for questions from all of the families. So hopefully our presentation will be brief, but we do want to provide a little bit more information. So I need to share my screen. Okay. All right.
Lisa, can you mute everyone so everyone can hear?
Yeah.
All right, Rose, put that.
Let's see. Mute all. There you go. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. All right. So we thought we'd just give you a little overview in case you needed a little bit more information. In Lowell Public Schools, our preschool programs develop the whole child. We provide opportunities to interact socially. We focus on building oral language, literacy, math, and science needed for elementary school and beyond. We do offer half-day and full-day programs. Sessions in the lottery are assigned by your first choice, if possible, until those seats are filled. And then we focus on placement at the schools that you chose. So we do your first choice, second choice, third choice. And the sessions come in if you get a seat at that school. Our class sizes, hold on, I gotta let somebody else in. Our class sizes vary between 12 and 16. And we do offer some full day programs in community settings. So if you're somebody who does not get a full day seat and you really need a full day seat, you know, we will help you to find a seat if possible in one of our partner programs. Our typical day for a preschool is we do have breakfast in the morning when kids come. We have a first circle, which includes read aloud and activities for children to get to know each other's names and share experiences that they may have at home. We have a brief introduction to centers. We have several centers in a classroom: dramatic play, blocks, easel, art, all of the areas that are typical in a preschool classroom. So we like to make sure that we're connecting those to the books that are read out loud, and we're challenging kids in these activities. We do provide small groups twice a week for an English language arts activity, which would be oral language or writing, and twice per week in mathematics. And then on Fridays, we pull together groups of children that may need a little additional help in those areas. We have outdoor play. And again, we spend time with routines. There's an awful lot of self-help skills that are learned in preschool through breakfast, lunch, transitions, hand washing, bathing, arrival and departure. And we have a second circle that is really focused on, we have a curriculum called Second Steps, which is a social emotional curriculum. We do a lot of community building during that, and give some information on science and other particular topics that we're exploring. We do have 6 different curriculum units. Each of them is a different length of time. Some of them are 4 weeks. Some of them are 6 or 8 weeks. As they go through the year, the units get longer. And we do start out with things familiar to children, like their families and themselves, and then move out. And right now, for example, we're looking at the world around us. So we're learning about lakes and water and oceans and space, and as well as how plants grow and how animals grow. So I'm going to continue on. Why is this moving? There we go. Attendance matters. So whatever school you get, it's really important that children attend regularly. They form friendships, build vocabulary, and build those school readiness skills, but they need to be present for that to happen. We do have a policy in the district. So we don't want students to miss more than 10% of their total days that they're enrolled. If a child is absent for any reason, it's really important to call the school and send a note if they are ill, that you have excused them, so we can excuse them. At all of our preschools, there are 15 elementary schools in Lowell Public Schools and 2 partner programs that do provide opportunities for preschool placement within Lowell Public Schools. All of them have a parent-teacher organization, a school site council. We have websites for each of the schools, so you can get on their Facebook, social media, Instagram. We do a lot of emails, calls, and text, and most of the schools or classrooms will provide a monthly newsletter. Transportation. Transportation is not provided by the school district unless it is part of an individual education plan, which means that your child has a disability and needs to be transported via special transportation. If there's anybody on the call that is homeless at this time, they can reach out to us and we will happily help them. We want to make sure that our homeless families have the same access as our other families in the community to preschool. So as I said, the next steps, we assigned the random lottery number to all of those that had completed registrations as of March 24th, 2023. And the families will receive notification in their email that they used to register their child by May 15th. Upon receiving that email, I gotta let this person in. Upon receiving that email, you must select one of the following, which is you accept the placement, but want to remain on a wait list for a preferred school. You reject the placement and want to remain on the wait list for your preferred school, or you reject the placement and will seek alternative programming. So, but families must return that. And then we will do our best to get the final assignment letters out in June. So now's the time I'm going to open it up for frequently asked questions. And let me close out of this and see if I can see everybody again. Admit. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let's see. Want to stop. Can't seem to get this shared screen off. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, it was hiding from us. All right, well, we have 32 families or around 30 families here with us. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask your question. You can raise your hand or just unmute yourself, and we'll happily take any questions that you might have about this process. You can also write in the chat, and we will read those questions to everyone.
I don't know if you can see everybody, Lisa, but someone called Cassandra has her hand raised.
Thank you. Cassandra, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there.
Hi there.
So I saw that on the slide, it said that the last day for submitting was March 24th. We submitted ours in April. I just want to make sure that it was still submitted.
I would go back and come back.
Yes, the registration deadline, I'm sorry, Lisa, was April 24th.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah,
Nope, caught that one.
Okay, no worries. I got
Oh,
so
I'm
scared.
sorry.
I knew somebody was going to bring it up and I did not want to interrupt you.
Oh my, I'm so sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize
the
for
months are
that.
flying by for you, Lisa. So sorry. Yes.
Yes, so it's
anybody
April
who
24th. I
registered-
apologize to everybody and sorry we didn't catch that when we all reviewed it together, so.
Yeah, it is April 24th. You are correct. Anybody who registered on or before April 24th was part of the lottery.
Thank you, Laurie.
You're welcome.
Additional questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for speaking out. So appreciated. Any other questions that folks have about the process? It looks like Zoom user does. If you want to unmute yourself.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So I did everything for my son. The only thing I didn't get in the mail was the lottery number. So I don't know if that comes before or after this process.
So today was the assignment of the lottery number. So when you get your letter,
Okay, and where would I have?
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, what was the lottery number sent like through email, or do I have to log into the portal to see it?
So you will receive an email that will offer you a placement based upon your lottery number. We will post the lottery numbers up on the website. So what you'll get is your letter has your LACID number, those numbers that we ran the lottery against are assigned to. So each of those LACID numbers, we call them, represents a child, and then we assigned a random number to those numbers. If Vero wants to share her screen again, perhaps we could show people who got on late. So we assigned a random number. So every buddy in that column C is representing a child. That number will stay with your child until they graduate. And then we assigned a random number to that. We will post this list online for everybody to see. So once you receive your placement offer, it will have your child's LACID number. You will respond to that email. So you actually do not get a letter in the mail. You will receive an email via the same email that you registered your child. Thank you.
So
Did that answer your question? And please ask again if we did not answer it.
No, yeah. So technically speaking, there's no assigned lottery number just yet.
There
Is that what I mean?
Nope, everybody received a lottery number today. So for example, LACID number 301-955 was assigned 10,001. LACID number 30111, which is midway down line 18, was assigned a number 1,017. And that will be posted. And in your email before May 15th, you will receive an email with a placement offer that you will need to respond to by responding to one of the choices that we offer you, which is you can accept your placement. You can accept your placement and remain on a wait list. You can reject your placement and remain on a wait list, or you can reject the placement. And then we begin placing everybody after June 2nd that has registered since the lottery of April 24th. And I'm going to pass it over to Susan to take a couple more questions.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I do see a couple more in the chat.
Mhm.
And one of the questions was, do all kids get accepted? It depends on how many children registered and how many openings that are available. The child or your child may not get one of their first choices, but we do keep going until the spots are filled. Does anyone want to elaborate a little bit more on that, or?
So I think there are 396 peer openings. How many were entered into the lottery bureau? That number is not.
327, I believe. Let me just double.
So
let me
it's likely
check.
that everybody will get an offer, whether that offer meets your needs as a family. That is up to you.
So 323.
The next question was in regards to a child is on the wait list, is being waited to be evaluated for special education. How will your child be placed? That is all going to be determined by the evaluation process. Did it just start? If you want to stay on a little bit after when everybody leaves, we can talk specifics in regards to date, and I can explain it a little bit further to you. But typically this lottery is for peer models, and it's the half-day placement. But again, I can definitely want to explain it a little bit more for your particular needs when everyone else is off, if you wouldn't mind staying.
Yep. And anybody that is in the process of an evaluation that has a child that was 4 by September 1st that doesn't actually have a placement, depending, you might be entered into the lottery and receive a placement unless you have an evaluation that then decides that you are placed as a special needs student. So Susie can stay on and answer some additional questions about that. But if your child was 4 by September 1st, they are entered into the lottery. How many total number were drawn? All of the numbers for the people that were registered prior to the April 24th deadline were given a number today. How do we find out our LACID number? I guess you could log back into the system and look for your LACID number, but you will also have your LACID number will be in the email that you receive. And I see Osha Winatha, I'm not pronouncing your name right, and I'm sorry, but I see you have your hand up. And Katrina? Did you, not again, okay.
Cassandra, do you have another question, or is your hand just raised?
Hi, sorry, I have another question.
Perfect.
Once the child is placed, will we be able to have some type of open house or like meet and greet with the teachers, or just kind of get them a little bit familiar with the setting at least once before we get in there?
So open houses occur in the fall. at the schools. So each of the site sends out information about their open house, usually mid-August. And I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it's usually the first week of school. 2 of those days are open houses for preschool and kindergarten, because preschool and kindergarten typically start later than the rest of the district.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
I still see a
Thank
couple
you.
of hands up and I'll try again. Osa, somebody else better at it than me. Osami Athan, do you have a question? Just don't want to ignore hands up.
Perhaps you could unmute her. I'll try and find her.
Yeah, I think I can unmute there. Okay. I asked to unmute, but it didn't work. Any other questions? We want to give you time.
So I've just changed the settings so that people are allowed to mute themselves. Would you mind trying again?
Now I can unmute myself. Hi, good evening. My question is, I just heard that it's an half-day program. So when I was selecting like my choices for my son, I did pick out schools that have full day. So what would that situation be like? Even if he's accepted in a school that has a full day, what was the requirements? Does he have to still stay in a half day, even if they offer full day?
Lisa, you muted.
So placement, we do have full day classrooms as well as half day classrooms, and it is done by lottery. So let's say that by the time we got to your child's lottery number, you did not get a full day seat, then we would offer you a half day seat. And if then you can respond to decide whether or not you would like to accept that half day seat or not. Did that answer your question?
But if you have asked for a full day and by the time your number is hit, there is still a place for a full day, that's what you would be offered.
Right. Don't want to miss anyone. I'm just scrolling between the screens. Last time I ended up getting out.
So people are getting a bit worried about the last seat. Don't worry about the last seat at this moment in time. It has no bearing on anything. When you receive your email, it will say what your lottery number is and it will offer you your placements and you can say yes or you can say no to the placement. So don't worry about
Yes.
the last seat right now.
Matisha is asking a question too. If you want to unmute yourself. Matisha? Hello? You will not find out today where the placement is. You will receive an email with the placement offer, and then you will need to respond to the placement offer. Today, we were running the lottery so that everybody could see that a random number was assigned to each student. And we wanted to do it in front of everybody so you could see those numbers. And again, they'll be posted. Matisha, you have your hand up. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can't hear. It's very faint. Unmute yourself. Try now. All right, we have a couple of questions. I do not
Can you hear
have.
me now?
Yes,
perfectly.
yes.
Hey, sorry about that.
No problem.
So my original question was how many placement we have and how many students we have. I think I saw about 326 or 27 students something, but how many placement against that?
396.
Oh, okay. So
That
well about the,
yeah.
all right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, and if you get a placement again that that you're not wanting or able to accept, we will work with you to do the best that we can. So you have that, and if you need full-time and you're getting half-time, we do have partner programs that we work with. So we want to make sure that everybody is in a program that meets their family's needs. And that's really important because attendance is important. So you need to be at a program that works for you and your family. Did we answer all of the questions, do you think, in the chat? I think we have. Just trying to scroll through it one more time. Is there anything that we missed, Susie, in the chat?
I don't see any more. I don't see any more that I missed. I'm just going scrolling down again. And again, like Lisa said, don't worry about the LACID number. That sheet that you saw was a scaled down version. When everything is open and we just covered thing and hid columns for privacy, that LACID is attached to your child's name, age, and contact information. So all of the children that registered were assigned the number and all of the information matches. And as soon as we go through it, we will start sending out the emails with the placement offer.
And I am Lisa Van Thiel. I'm the early childhood coordinator for the district. And Susie, who was just speaking, Susan, is the assistant early childhood coordinator. So we will both put our contact information into the chat. So if you do not receive your letter or you have some questions, you may have things that you don't want to ask online, please email us. Feel free to give us a call. Susan, do you want me to put your email in the chat for you?
That would be great. Honestly, email is possibly faster, but please don't expect a placement letter within the next 2 days. What we need to do is, because if it goes by the random order and then it's assigned based upon your random order. The only thing that's not assigned is that if you choose the a half-day session, not the full day, then it's the AM or the PM session.
Thank you for remembering to address that, Susan.
Can I check something? So the first thing I want to make absolutely sure is that we keep on saying letter, but it's going to be an email. So please watch your emails. The
Yes.
email that you've used to register your student, your child, because that's the email we're going to use to send you the offer.
Right,
And
and
then
it's and it's also the same way you reply back to us. So the sooner everybody replies, the sooner we can get out all of
so in that
the
email,
assignment letters.
in that email, there will be a link. It will say click here. You click on that link. It will take you to a form that you fill in to either say whether you accept the placement or you do not accept the placement. Lisa, can you remind me how long we've said before we send that email?
I believe we said by May 15th, everybody needs to respond to us.
So hopefully within the next few days, or, you know, definitely within the next week, you will receive that email. Please respond to it as soon as possible so we can make the placements.
May I say something, please? Please make sure that you check your junk and your spam mail. It
Thank
will
you.
not come from my name, Lisa's name, Vera's name, or Laurie's name. It will come from a no reply, correct, Vera?
I believe so.
Or lol reply.
Lol something, yes. so
Yeah,
just check.
meaning that you can't, if you click reply to that email, it will go nowhere. What you need to do is click the word reply. Correct, Vero? On inside
like
the
this.
body of the email.
Yeah, it will say, I will read it to you. It will say something like, Dear parents / guardian, and the subject will be Lowell Public Schools pre-K placement offer for lottery number, and it will say your lottery number. And it will tell you the, it will give you details of the placement, and it will say, please use this link if you want to check school hours. So you'll be able to check school hours. You will then be able to accept or not accept, and then it will say, reply form. That's right. So it will say, please, you have 15 days to reply. Please do so by clicking, and then you will have a hyperlink that's reply form. So you click on reply form, that will take you to a form where you can say yes or no.
Just please be advised that if you reply, or you send myself, Lisa, or any of us an email saying that you accept it, we can't accept it like that. It has to go through that form.
Right, you must respond via email.
And you will receive that email. So someone's asked, I have not received any letter yet. You won't. We haven't started. We've literally just given you a number, a lottery number tonight.
Right.
So tomorrow we will meet and we will do the rest of the process to see, how the assignment takes place. Once we've assigned, then we will be able to send you an email.
Right. So I'm going to just write that in the chat too, because it's as of today, you have a lottery number assigned to you, and that number has been assigned a random number. And then we will now be using those numbers to place children based upon the random number they were assigned. And then we will send out your placement offer letters. Look for those offer letters and respond as soon as possible. If you do not get it in the next 15 days, please give us a call. But it does take us some time to do that, and we are giving 15 days for families to respond. But we hope to get the letters out, as Susan said. Give us a few days, we should be able to send them out. Look in your spam. And I think we've answered all the questions, and it's not a letter, it's an email. So thank you so much. It's so wonderful to have so many families interested in early childhood programming. Do visit our website. We have lots of information. We also offer play groups and other resources for your family and for children under the age of 5. So we are so grateful to have such a wonderful community in Lowell, and families that are so committed to early learning. So thank you all for being here, and don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. Again, we have put our contact information into the chat. So I want to say thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Sounds really great. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good night, everyone. Susie, I think I need
It's
to make,
fine. Yeah,
think-
I'm just waiting for,
I need to make you co-host again though, right? So you don't lose the person. So hold on, I'm gonna work on that.
Yep, please. And then I can stay on and answer that question in regards to.
Yes, thank you for doing that. I just want to make sure you're co-host before I. And I'm going to stop the recording as well, okay, Susie? So hold on.